Welcome to another episode of Eurocham Stories. I'm Brian Badzmierowski, and I'm here with Jef Moons, the founder of Knai Bang Chatt and Kep West. There's been a lot of talk about tourism lately in Cambodia, of course, from the government, the creation of the Cambodia Tourism Board, and of course the whole private sector too, gearing up, waiting, expecting tourists to come back. So I think it's a fantastic time to have you on, and we've been trying to interview you for a little while now, so thank you for coming and or inviting us, and thanks for doing this.
Okay, I'm looking forward to share the best I can, and this for Eurocham to promote tourism. So hello to everybody, and let's start with the first question.
Sure, yeah, so I think we can start with a soft one right off the bat. You've been here a while, 20 years about, give or take, and you founded Knai Bang Chatt in 2003, so to me it must have been a very different place. Kep, Cambodia, the industry. How do you see it then versus how you see it now?
In 2003, I arrived here, and it was a pure adventure. Coming from an overregulated Europe to the far west in Asia, and we saw so many opportunities, and we fell in love with the beauty of the Cambodian people, and we bought in 2003 3 houses in Kep, completely abandoned, burned by the Vietnamese, the Khmer Rouge, but it was beautiful architecture. That was 2003. We built it as a private residence, a holiday house, and this for all our overseas friends to come and enjoy a different culture somewhere in the world. Then a little bit, when we were building our property, it became too beautiful, and we were connected with the poverty around us. So at that part we say, we came to Asia for the people and not to create assets. So we started community work. Meanwhile, we have invested more than 1 million into poverty. And the Knai Bang Chatt from a private residence grew to a resort with 11 rooms only. Of course, we never made profit, and in 2012, even that we sold on the international market our rooms, I had to take over 50% of the shares from, at that time, my partner Boris Vervoort. And then I expanded to 18 rooms, and the sailing club was already there. So at that point, I said, now I can really serve the market in a professional way. So Knai Bang Chatt became a high-end barefoot luxury product, well promoted through sales reps in the world and PR companies. And we were a highlight, we have always been a highlight on coastal Cambodia in one of the most exceptional regions, Kep and Kampot. What happened then? Being successful, good occupancy, everybody loved us, and then there was COVID. And COVID was not good for us.
No.
Yes, not for anybody of us. But that was 2018, 19, and then there came the beach development. So Knai Bang Chatt, which was a resort waterfront, lost its water, and they placed 150 meters soil in front of the resort. In the beginning it was, yes, now I'm completely dead, but then you always have to find the strength to reinvent yourself. And we re-established a beachfront project, and now in 2023-24, I think we have an exceptional new lifestyle property that focuses on a healthy, sustainable, and active lifestyle. If you compare ourselves with Sihanoukville and island properties, I think you come now to our region to discover the beauty of the Cambodia of today. And I think I'm happy that I'm all back. The changes in tourists, 2003, it was private friends. Then it became international families who came over. Then it was exclusivity rental only. And then we focused on UK market, European, American, Canadian, and Australian. Now this market is still being represented by all the DMCs, but the world is changing and we have to look for new future markets. And that is a little bit the journey up to date.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I didn't realize that Kep West was a result of them building from Knai Bang Chatt to the coast, and because I wanted to ask you, it's quite different, the style Kep West with Knai Bang Chatt, and very cool to hear that Knai Bang Chatt started so organically as like a passion project, and then it naturally became a resort because it's very special, the style. It's, what is the Japanese word that you use for?
The wabi-sabi.
Wabi-sabi. I have to look that up.
Wabi-sabi is the beauty of not being perfect. Because if you look to your husband or your wife and you really love them, you love them the way they are, not because they're a perfect icon. And it's just the heart and the way you let people experience that will give them memories. And if you go in the blue house, under the stairs, there is a big jar, a huge jar, but with a little bit of bubbles. So the jar is not correct because a few hundred years ago it fell in the oven. So nobody wanted that jar. But now there is only one jar which is not perfect. And this is why it is so precious to all of us. And this is a little bit of Wabi-sabi philosophy. And this is how we want to share with our community.
Very cool. Well, if I may make this connection, then I think, yeah, Kep is not, or Kep is not a perfect destination, right? I mean, that's why it's maybe flown under the radar a bit. It's quiet. It's not so developed. I used to love going for the crab market, and then there's only, like I think you've said before, Kampot is where you go for bars or for restaurants and everything. But Kep is a bit special, and so, and in that with the wabi-sabi as well, right? It's imperfect but beautiful. But is there a worry that if it becomes too developed, it becomes too perfect? And what happens to the old way and the traditional way, the traditional beauty? Is that a worry you have at all?
Not at all. Not at all. I think in Kep, we need to have 2,000 room moors. But what is most important is to protect our assets. And what are the most important assets? First of all, the national park. So if we are going to completely destroy the national park to build commercial identities, this would be completely wrong if you ask me. But I think national park is protected. Another area that needs protection is our sea and some of the islands. We cannot develop just like Rabbit Island, all the islands, because then we have no assets to show with travelers. It's not only to become a tourist destination, it is a destination, Kep and Kampot, for travelers where people engage with community, with the countryside, with the customs of and traditions of the Cambodian people. And these, if it's well organized by resorts, like we do at Kep West and Knai Bang Chatt, then we give people memories to bring home. So you don't book a room, you book an experience. And I think Kep and Kampot is probably one of the most authentic regions in Cambodia today to connect international travelers to the traditions, the culture of what I call the Cambodia of today.
Yeah, and I've noticed you always involve the local culture in your offerings at Knai Bang Chatt and Kep West. And as Kep gets more developed, how important is that to make sure that there's a place for locals too, to make money, to have jobs, and to not lose their, traditional way of life?
Okay. Yeah. Up to date, most of the hotels, they have a corporate social responsibility program in one way or another. In Cambodia, you cannot survive alone. you have to respect the people. The love that we have for Cambodia is thanks to the Cambodian people, because they're coming out of poverty. There was the Khmer Rouge. Now I think 60% is younger than 30 years. It's young, dynamic, and it's really cool to support them. If we have more hotels coming, we have to see that we do this in a sustainable way. Like Cambodia, like Knai Bang Chatt is international certified sustainable. That means we're gender equal. We have fair salaries. We give them benefits. We educate them. And all the people, when they come to Knai Bang Chatt, most of the time they don't want to leave because they feel honored to work with us, because we offer something different to the customers, but also we manage our staff in a very respectful way. And I think if we have more products like this in our region, the region can develop in a correct way. So no development is definitely not good. We have a lot of connectivity, new airports, so it will be 1.5 hours from Phnom Penh Airport to Kep in 2025. Connectivity with the coastal zone port in Kep and Kampot, and then also Phuket Island with a potential of 6 million people coming to visit Kep and Kampot. We better organize ourselves fast and well.
Yeah, I have a sense that there's just a lot on everyone's plate right now. The government is making a lot of plans. The Kep Master Tourism Development Plan for the next 12 years. As I mentioned quickly before, the Cambodia Tourism Board, and then everyone in the private sector. You just had a great webinar sort of exploring the potential of coastal Cambodia. We've had meetings with the Ministry of Tourism. So are you getting good all-around vibes from all of these events, these meetings?
I think it's a very good question. Know that government cannot do everything by themselves because they don't have enough budgets. It's very simple. Yeah. We as private sector, we have a duty to fulfill to also reach out on international level with government, with Cambodian tourism boards, with Kata, with Pata, with hotel and restaurant organizations to see that we support each other. Now, there is a big difference. If you go through all the organizations and you work together with government, then you have to see that you take care of the average of the sector. And that means that you go down and that you promote the basics. What we did as Knai Bang Chatt, we said as private identity, working hand in hand with all the organizations, we will try as a unicorn to bring our Kep and Kampot region to a higher level. And I think this is also needed because we need to create new, unique chapters for the international travelers to find reason why they have to come to Cambodia and not stay in Thailand or Vietnam. So also in the webinar, I said in ASEAN, we have to create ASEAN Delight.
Right.
As a Cambodian identity,
Right.
we have to see that we promote the country itself.
Right.
And then for me, it was time as a private identity, not to think about myself, but Sihanoukville, everybody knows, but Kep and Kampot, we really have to bring it on the map.
It's true.
There was no national budget to promote our Kep and Kampot region. Well, I supported, I hope, all the organizations, the MCs, Kata Pata, MOT, with a private initiative to bring our region also in the loop to the international travelers.
Yeah, okay. And I think you make the distinction between a traveler and a tourist, right? You were touching on that a little bit, but of course there's so much in Kep and Kampot. If you're a traveler and not a tourist, little places to explore, off the beaten track, by the river in Kampot and Kep, of course all kinds of little nooks and crannies to get into, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't travel from London to Cambodia to be a tourist. because then you can better go to, I don't know, Spain, close by. You also have a good room, but here you want to connect. That's the message of traveling. Traveling is not a room. Traveling is more than a location. Traveling is rejuvenation and to find the best version of yourself by experiencing culture, active lifestyle, and holiday delight. And I think we have this in Kep and Compot.
Okay. All right, before we can, of course, we can talk about the webinar and talk about the new things planned for Kep West, but one more business question. If I'm an investor based in Europe or wherever, and I see this happening in Kep, how to get involved? What advice would you give to someone wanting to fund this transformation?
I just came out of an investors meeting, and this is somewhere in Cambodia, but it didn't spark at all. I think we have to, at Kep West and Knai Bang Chatt, we have the location, we have the connectivity, we have a future template which is looking very promising. I think the offers that we have up to date are securing any potential future investor because the risk is taken. I think for Kep and Compot, finding investors will not be too difficult. The only thing is, we're not looking for small money. We're looking to develop the region. And this will be my next chapter. So I hope to organize a new webinar and in a creative way offer trust to the international market to come and visit us in Kep and Compot. And even if people do not visit with Knai Bang Chatt, maybe they are connected to the region and they can do it by themselves. You know, life is not about you. Life is about the development of all of us, and you're part of the development. If I can attract the correct international investor for our Kep and Compot region, so that we have product diversification, so that we have high-end products, it's already good for me. If I can do it together with some investors, even better. Let's see.
Okay, thank you very much. And let's get into some of the offerings at Kep West. I got excited just watching the PowerPoint presentation from the webinar, which I still have to watch. But I saw seaplanes. I saw training courses on seaplanes. I mean, sign me up for that if I could.
Okay. I signed this year already 6 MOUs. No big deals. All kinds of creating new characters to offer excitement to the travelers and also to the professional travel planners, the DMCs, to offer trust. One of them is seaplanes. So we have an MOU signed. We have the exclusivity for Kep and Compot region for seaplanes, and they will arrive in 5 weeks. So what are we going to do? And this is really cool. So you have those small planes. You rent them for $150, $180, depending 20 or 30 minutes that you fly. And on the beach at Kep West, you start with your plane, you fly over the plantations, the salt fields, Compot, you have a tour over Bokar, and you land again on the beach, and it's your day excursion that you have done in 20 minutes. This is something really cool. It cannot be done easily in Vietnam, Malaysia, and Thailand, but here in Cambodia with regulations, we can do this, and it's an exceptional product offer for the international market. Now, for $950, you become a pilot in 1 day, and that is it's just exceptional. So you first have an introduction of the plane, then you go and fly 3 hours with a pilot, and the pilot is international certified. He has 8,800 hours of flying with cargo and passengers planes, and 6,600 hours of coaching with small ULMs and smaller planes. So it is well organized, it's perfect planes, an exceptional experience, And after one day, you can fly alone with the plane, but not yet. You cannot yet bring your wife with you, because it's as an individual you can fly.
That would be a perfect date.
But then
though.
the aim is that you can connect to the experience, that you get more courses, and at a certain point you have a higher level of certification. People ask me, and insurance? Well, just like in every aviation program, we have personal liability and we have personal insurance in the package included. So let's see how this chapter or this character will be further developed.
Oh, wow.
But I think it's cool.
I mean, yeah, that's amazing and
Yeah.
so unique. You can't find that
Yes.
every place you travel to.
To go a little bit further, another character that we created is dolphin spotting. So the excursion tour is going to be fully fine-tuned this weekend. And together with Marine Conservation Cambodia, we have a morning tour to spot dolphins, and then also go to Cossé with the marine people, get some knowledge about what's happening in our seas, what is what about illegal fishing, what about the seahorses and the dolphins, and then you come back after a nice barbecue on the island, and you have gained knowledge. And I think this is what we want to offer. Let travelers gain knowledge, and it can be becoming a pilot, it can be learning about marine life, it can be all kinds of inland excursions to get to know the culture. But it's too cool. The product offers are really fine-tuned, and when people stay in Knai Bang Chatt, yeah, they take home something really precious.
Yes, I encourage anyone who watches this
Yeah.
to come see it before Kep gets super overdeveloped, because right now would be a really special time to see it. Even what you've done at Kep West, it's become very popular, I think, with locals, and people go and take pictures, and this is just the beginning. I mean, what a beautiful time to come now. I think we still have some time before the rain starts, right? So
Yes.
we can...
Kep West, if you see beachfront, the people call it a cafe, but it's not a cafe. We have built it initially for the international travelers as a very high-end food and beverage destination. But the international travelers were not back. So the local people, they say, oh, we go to the cafe at Kep West. Now, it's a culinary destination. So we have the Strand, beachfront, Crab & Co., where we have really good wagyu beef and the mud crabs, not undersized little crabs. We have the best crabs of the region. And then we have the Grand Cafe, where we have an Asian taste. And this is how we created like a culinary beach destination. The beach is developed with activities. The dining facilities are there. And if we then add some art festivals, sport events, like Run with Sai is in the pipeline for running events. We will do our biking events, we will do our sailing events. And then with this, Kep West will become a destination. So next time when you say, are we going to Kep or Kampot? You never know if you might say, let's go to Kep West.
There it is. That's a good tagline, yeah.
It's a good starting point.
Yeah, if it's famous for anything now, I guess it's the crab. So now you can get the crab at Kep West. I mean, you have the ocean view. And you get the Kampot pepper sauce on the crab too, right? So you can kill two birds with one stone. But I will be sure to put a link in the interview with all of the features and every offering that Kep West has, so people can check it out. And thank you so much for taking the time to tell us about Kep West and what your plans are. And congratulations, it's been 20 years of hard work, and now we're at the juncture of something pretty amazing. So thank you.
Finally, we see the light again. It's all looking good.
Yes.
Thank you very much, and see you soon in Kep.